would be to Here's how to crochet and knit a baby hammock. You'll need a medium-sized crochet hook, a pair of number 10 knitting needles, and a pair of number 17 knitting needles. And if you're making it for your midwifery practice to weigh babies, you'll need one skein of 4-ply 2-ounce cotton. If you're making it for a baby to sleep in a crib, you'll need 2 skeins. So first off, you'll chain stitch with your crochet hook 20 stitches, and you'll enclose the circle. And once you've done that, you'll move it onto your number 10. You'll cast on to number 10 needles from your doubled over enclosed circle. You'll then knit on your number 10s for a few rows, and in between each stitch for 2 rows you will make a stitch increase. I use yarn overs, so I knit, yarn over, knit, yarn over, knit, yarn over. The row back I just pick up all my yarn overs, and then I repeat that until I have about 30 stitches on my number 10 needle. I then move to my number 17 needles, and this has got a couple of rows. Here's your number 10s, and then you've got moved up much wider to number 17. If I was making this for a baby's crib, I would go from here onto my number 10s. I would increase again in between each stitch, so I had about 60 stitches. But if I was making this for a sling for weighing a baby, I would continue on my number 17s for a few more rows so that I would get a much flatter laying hammock. Here I've worked back onto my number 10 needles. I've done a row where I have done a yarn over, stitch increase in between each stitch, and then picked up all those yarn overs, and I'm now at about 70 stitches, which would be a good size for a hammock that would hang in a crib. I would not need to have made so many increases. 50 or 60 stitches would be sufficient if I was making a hammock to weigh a baby. So if I was making a hammock to weigh a baby, I would then work on number 10 needles where the ribbed pattern is my preference for the stretchiness. I would work about 8 or 9 inches from this point, and then I would reverse everything I've done here on the other end. For a hammock that will hang in a crib to hold a baby during a nap, I would work about 12 or 15 inches even, and I usually, as a design element, like to work in a contrasting color from this point till I get to the place where I would then make decreases and get back onto my number 17 needles, and then back down to 20 or so stitches, where I would move on to my number 10s, get down to 10 stitches, and crochet a loop on the other end. Now when we've gone from the number 17 needles down to the number 10 needles, and we've decreased to 10 stitches, you then cast off. You then go back to your crochet hook, chain stitch, 8, 9, 10 stitches, enclose it back to the other end of your of where you began your cast off, and you close that loop. And you'll notice that now you're sort of ready for going this way, so you'll need to take your needle out and put it in on the other side and turn your work around so that you can crochet back up the loop and get a nice strong loop just like you have on the other side. And there you have, for the price of a skein of 4-ply, 2 ounces of 4-ply cotton yarn, you have a baby sling and an hour of your time, which, you could do this while you're sitting at a labor. So this is different than the written pattern, which is available, because writing a pattern is a complex process that takes hours and hours and hours of time, and this is sort of an improvement, although the pattern is lovely, and it makes a sling that is just delicious in the way that it looks when it's folded in half and laying flat. It makes this lovely crescent shape. However, because that makes it have a curl in it, this improved pattern lays flat, which is convenient when you are weighing babies. You don't have to struggle to get the baby in the sling. You just lay it flat, put the baby down, stretch the hammock if it needs to be around the baby, if it's one of those 10-pounders, 12-pounders. So this is not probably going to ever get written out because that would be too much trouble for anyone to undertake. But happy hammocks make happy babies. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you make hammocks for your midwifery practice. Or, again, it could be made a little bit larger and used in a crib at your own risk. Be cautious. Use it. I would recommend it mostly for babies under 3 months old, so that once there's any squirming going on, they're not going to fall out. But if you tie it to the ends of your crib, they would only have 2 or 3 inches to fall. But even for a baby, that would be shocking, although they probably wouldn't get physically hurt. And of course, for an older baby that could sit in the bottom of their crib, you wouldn't want something hanging on the top of the crib because of an entanglement risk. So use your own judgment. Your good judgment as a parent is the best safety feature you could have with anything. So enjoy this, making this hammock, and enjoy your baby. Would be to